evening, everyone, and welcome to Stamp and Chat Live. Push this out of the way. There we go. I'm Gina from Gina K Designs, and it's great to see all of you coming in from all around the world. Well, tonight we are doing another Inspired By video. And what that means is I choose a card from our Facebook group, from one of our amazingly creatively talented members, one of our creative members, and I use their card as inspiration for what I'm going to do in tonight's live. Now, hey Jennifer, now I'll tell you, this was really hard for me because every single day I am inspired by so many of your cards. This particular card jumped out at me because it was something that I just never thought to do. And every once in a while, that kind of like floats through the group and I look at it and I go, wow, how did she think of that? I just wouldn't have thought of that. And so that is what happened to me when I saw this particular card. But I want you guys to know that every single day I am inspired over and over and over again by all of the beautiful cards that you post in our Facebook group. So just know that each and every one of them is beautiful. This one tonight, I think a lot of you are going to enjoy trying. It's going to be a 5x7 card. You can make this a smaller A2 size card if you want, just by switching out the dies and the way that this is done. But the way that this card was created, it used Master Layouts 20, and that's what I want to use tonight as well. So before we get started, let's say hello to Tom. Hey.
Hey.
Are you all right over there?
Happy Crafter Dinner Crowd.
How are you doing?
I am better than horrible. You know that.
Well, I know everybody's going to ask, will you have a word of the day or something?
I have a word of the day.
A straight ahead word of the day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Straight ahead word of the day.
All right. Well, we're excited for that. I can't wait to see that. So, Tom, I think I sent you the banner. Did you see this card?
Yes, I did.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Yes. Can we look at it?
Yeah, let's look at the card. Okay. So this beautiful card is by Facebook group member Marsha Thompson. And she created this gorgeous card that has that embossing folder, that 2D embossing folder in the background. And it just, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. It looks like wallpaper or some kind of beautiful textured something or other. I've seen wallpaper that looks like that, and that's just what it reminded me of, like a really fancy dining room window that has that white on white kind of textured wallpaper behind it. And honestly, when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, I want to make one of those. I definitely want to make one of those. And then I thought, I wonder if people looking at this card, if some of the people might say, how did she do that? So I thought that might be a great thing for me to show. I know, isn't that gorgeous? That is really pretty. And I would just say hello to Jennifer McGuire and Kathy Zilski. I see you guys in the chat. It's great to have you here. It's always so nice to see other content creators like Jennifer and Kathy and Mindy and so many others join us in the chat. That's really fun for us. So it's great to see you guys. Thanks for being here. All right, well, when I did last Thursday's video, I did Master Layout 17, and I had shared a card, and a bunch of people were asking in the chat, wait, what stamp set was that? That's really pretty. I haven't seen that before. And it is an older stamp set that we released maybe a year and a half ago, maybe even 2 years ago now. But I thought I would use it tonight just so that everybody got a chance to see it again. And if a lot of you already have this stamp set because this was part of a kit. So this is called Thoughtful Flowers, and it's got this beautiful floral design. I'll show you the card. It's right over here that I shared in the Master Layouts 17 video. And it was this card where I did a rainbow kind of thing. So I thought that I would do maybe a different color combination, but use this kind of layout for the card that I'm going to make tonight, inspired by Marsha Thompson. So let's take a look again at Marsha's card. Tom, do you have that close by that we could take another peek at it? Because I just need to review it again. All right, so what I see here is that Marsha chose an embossing folder, and the embossing folder that she used was our tapestry embossing folder. I might have to steal that. I don't know though, because I do want to make my card different, and I know it's important when you are creating cards that you're inspired by other people, but you also leave a little something of your own in there. So maybe I will change up the embossing folder. And then she used Master Layouts 20, which by all means I'm going to use because I want to do that window and I want to do that wide frame. And then she used the Delicate Dahlias stamp for the florals. I'll use Thoughtful Flowers. She made one sprig of flowers going down. I think I'm going to do 2 and maybe wrap them around both the bottom of the window and a little bit into the top. We'll see. And then she used a block style greeting, the Happy Birthday to You. So I'm going to use a more scripty greeting for my card. So that's how I'm going to change things up. All right. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about is when it comes to what we call casing. Casing somebody else's card in the group. This comes up a lot, and you see this in other groups where some people are really flattered and other people are really upset. And I don't personally understand anybody being upset about casing my cards because that's why I make them. The CASE is an acronym for Copy and Share Everything. That's what the positive people say. Copy and share everything. CASE. The people that don't like it will say copy and steal everything. But either way, it's copying somebody else's idea. But the trick to casing in a good way is to copy and share everything. Copy what they're doing, but add your own twist to it. This way, well, first of all, it's not all that much fun to post a card that's already been posted, right? So you want to show your twist on it. So maybe you change up the colors, and maybe somebody did it in all oranges and reds, so you're going to do it all in blues and greens. Change out the actual focal image stamp, change the embossing folder, change a couple things about it, and then say this card was inspired by, and then show your twist on it. So that's kind of the way we like to try our best to case other people. All right, so let's start by stamping these images and coloring them in. We definitely want to do that. I am going to get my...
Or you could do it in grayscale.
Or you can do it in grayscale. There's Tom again with his grayscale. Oh, that was the start of quite the fiasco, wasn't it? Tom said, what about grayscale? And then all of a sudden, everybody wanted me to do grayscale, and I didn't, and turned into a whole extra video. And actually, that was one of the greatest moments of your life there, Tom, in the crafting world. All right, so I'm going to be using the Thoughtful Flowers stamp set, and I'm going to use just this large floral design. Now, I am thinking about doing this floral going down the side just like Marsha did, but I'm thinking about adding some additional floral designs. So my first thought was, well, let's just do a second one of these, but now I'm thinking that that might be a little too much. So now I'm going to instead just do a couple little individual images so that I can have something on the other side of my card. Sorry about my Band-Aid. My burn still isn't healed, and it's getting uglier instead of prettier. It's getting uglier, and it's not that it's that there's anything like wrong with it. It's not infected. It's just when burns heal, they get a little crusty and not real attractive. So I have the Band-Aid off all day. It's breathing, it's drying up, but when I go live, I like to cover it because a Band-Aid looks better than what's under here. All right.
Sounds like you need a word of the day for that.
Uh-oh. Do you have a word of the day for that?
I don't.
Oh, I think you need to come up with one. See what you can come up with by the end of the video, okay? Okay, now I'm inking up the individual images also. And it's going to make it easy for me to stencil everything all together if everything is just all ready to go. I feel like I might want to add one more image in here.
Karen wants to know if you plan on coming out with any new stencil builders.
Stencil builders? We've got some things in the works, actually. It's a little bit different than the original stencil builders. But yes, we are. We're going to come out with some additional things that go along with that. I think I want to use this one too. But we'll see. I'm going to color them. If we decide not to use them, I'll just have a couple extra bits and pieces for my my card, for another card. All right, let's clean this all up here, and then we're going to stamp one greeting, because I already have this stamped and cut, this thinking of you, which is part of this set. I already had one of these, so that's just one last thing I have to cut. But I'm thinking of turning this into not really a sympathy card, but kind of a sympathy card. Something that would be like thinking of somebody that's going through a hard time. And I have somebody in mind to send this to. I don't know her favorite colors, but let's see. I think we'll just do thinking of you and wishing, oh no, and keeping you in my prayers. That will be a good one. This gal is very faithful, so I think I will use this as well. Isn't it fun that we get to think about the people that we send cards to, and we can make something very, very specific for them? You know, I was thinking about that when I was making Alicia's birthday card this year. And I was thinking how much she loves, you know, red and black and gold and bright blue. And then when I make Rena's birthday card, how she likes that real pale, innocent pink and lemon yellow. And, you know, everybody's so different with what they like. And we can say the exact thing we want to say. And we can create it in a way that is so specific to the people that we love. It's just something else that I really, really love about card making. All right, so I am going to use this, although it would probably be easier to cut these all out first. I think I'll just do this and use some washi tape if I need to. All right, so this comes... There are coloring stencils that you can purchase that coordinate with this. You know what? I think I am going to cut these out first. Why not? Because if I die cut something wrong, I can cut it out again, and it'll be a lot easier to stencil. No, I haven't gotten my tattoo yet. Not yet, not yet. Not yet. Still deciding if I actually want to get that tattoo or maybe something different. All right, I'm using the magnetic mat for the intracut right now. But I'm still going to do one image at a time just so I can really kind of focus and keep track of what's going through the machine.
Denise wants to know, how long does it take Tom to come up with the word of the day?
That's a Tom question.
It takes a week, spelled W-E-A-K.
Oh, man. Is that a word of the day? No. Hello. You still over there?
You gotta let that sit for a minute.
Got to simmer on that. I am going to do a couple of these. All right.
And then you just gotta let it leave.
You got to let it breathe?
Leave.
I think you got to let it fester. Now this set also has a die that cuts every single one of these small greetings. My nails are getting in the way. But that's okay. They're going to be tiny. It's a good thing we're going to use our grippy mat today. So we'll cut this one. And then we'll cut this one. I was going to use bits and pieces I already had, but I thought it would be fun to actually do, you know, some colors that we want. So what colors would you guys like to see the flowers? Would you like these to be a little bit more of an autumn look? Or would you like to go more with the blues and the, you know, purpley kind of tones? I'm starting to get itchy for autumn. I know I never thought I'd say it because I know that autumn means the winter's coming, but autumn and all the things that go with autumn, like...
No, you usually say it about this time.
I do?
You do.
Well, you know, I'm thinking just the whole, like, the autumn foods I really love. Like apple crisp. You know, some of that kind of stuff. Pumpkin cake and those, what are those donuts that I love? Apple cider donuts. Like, I never think about eating an apple cider donut in June. And I don't even think of eating an apple cider donut in February. But man, get me into September and October, and I want to eat that stuff all the time. So I'm kind of excited for some of that stuff. I'm just going to cut a piece of white cardstock off to the side here because while we have the die cutting machine, it might be the perfect time to cut out some of these other things that we're going to need to construct this card. Okay, I generally don't like to use my magnetic plates when I'm cutting just big flat dies.
Until you see your first yellow jacket.
Oh no, I don't like those.
And then it's bring on the frozen tundra.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the franticness of autumn bees. It's like they know that it's ending soon and they got to be crazy. All right, I'm going to cut this. I might have to tighten it up a little bit because my plate's getting warped. And I'll have to de-warp my plate with some hot tap water. Okay. Yes, apple cider for a nice warm drink for sure. Like all that kind of stuff. It just feels so good this time of year. And I just remember, this is because my plate is like super warped. I just haven't been very good about turning it over either as I use it. And so I just have to put it in a pan of super hot tap water and just let it
You remember that place we used to take the kids in New Glarus,
Yes.
Wisconsin? And when it snowed, they had a big hill the kids could sled down.
Yes.
And at the bottom of the hill was a restaurant with the best coffee and apple pie.
Hot apple pie.
And cinnamon things. And
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes.
That's what I like. I kind of miss that. I definitely miss that. But yeah, I'm gonna cut 2 of these. But the wasps can really get on your nerves. That's for sure. Hey, Mindy Egan. We get them bad in Wisconsin in the fall, don't we? The wasps. Mindy's in Wisconsin too. She's not too far from me. Well, she's kind of far from me. She's on the western side and I'm on the eastern side. But I mean, in the big picture, considering how spread out the rest of us are, she's not that far. But can you believe she's never been here? That's crazy, Mindy. All right, so I cut 2 of these out. This is from Master Layouts 20. So this is that big frame that comes in Master Layouts 20. We haven't gotten to Master Layouts 20 yet for our video, but these big frames are just beautiful. So I'm going to put 2 of them together just to give it a little bit of dimension. And then I'm going to cut out one of the window dies from this set. Let's see here. I'm going to cut out one of these.
Shirley said, did you know you can put ice cream on top of apple pie and put it in the microwave and the ice cream won't melt while heating the pie?
I did not know that.
I have to buy a pie tomorrow to try that.
And ice cream, and we got to try it. Yeah. Honestly, that's not what I thought would happen. I would think if you put it in the microwave that the first thing that would melt would be the ice cream. And that's interesting.
It's one of those experiments that whatever happens, you don't really care.
Yeah.
Because it's so good.
Yeah. Okay. So here is one window. And I'm going to do another window.
Yes, New Glarus, Wisconsin, home of spotted cow.
Yes. Yeah, we used to take our kids there. We used to live, we live in the Milwaukee area now, but when the kids were little, we lived in Madison area. And so we would do all the things that were more, on that side of, well, like in the middle of the state. And then Mindy, she's all the way there on the west side. I think, Mindy, your playground is probably more like Minneapolis, right? But I've driven right past you going to Kathy Zilski's house. I should have picked you up on the way.
We took when we had an RV, we took it to Florida one year. And when I made the reservation at the park, the woman said, "Bring my husband a spotted cow."
Oh, that's right.
And we took a six-pack of spotted cow.
We did, yeah. Isn't that crazy?
They were so they were so surprised. They loved it.
Are you supposed to not take that over state lines? Like you can't take it over state lines and sell it, right?
Well, I got out in about a week, so it wasn't too bad.
You did a little time, Tom?
Yeah.
All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose an embossing folder, and although I think I like Marsha's choice better for this particular card, I still want to be different. I mean, I don't want to be different. I want to be just like Marsha, but I think I'm going to use the Petite Flourish. I think it'll give a similar look, and I think it'll be good. Did we decide on the colors? Oh my gosh, Brienne, were you watching? Did they decide on the colors? When I said autumn or like blues and greens, I didn't even look up to see the comments. See, that's why we need to figure out the polls here, Tom, on this software that we're using.
We have to take a poll to see how long it's going to take for us to actually figure out how to take a poll.
Yeah. I want to see if that's going to be big enough to fit in the hole. I think so. So I'm going to do an A2 size piece of cardstock. All right, Autumn 1. Okay, thank you guys. Autumn 1. All right, so we're going to go ahead. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut one more window die out, which I could have done this with one of those other window dies, but I didn't think of it, so now I'm going to try to do it right. So I am going to line this up so it's in the center and it's straight. All right, and I'm going to use some masking magic here to tack this down. And then before I commit, I got to check it against the frame itself to make sure that it's going to be able to be centered in there if I need it to. And that's fine. I can trim off the edge. I'm not worried about that. I just want to make sure I'm not too close to the top or too close to the bottom. Okay. How many cubes are in our calyx unit, Tom? Let's see. We've got 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4 times 2. 32 cubes we have here. So we have 2 4x4s. Alrighty, now I might bump this window up even bigger. Why not? We've got this all done and we've got everything cut out now. So let me get rid of this. Love doing that. Just popping those all out. My later crafty self will thank me for popping out all the excess pieces now.
Ellen wants to know if we've ever taken our children to Baraboo.
Oh my goodness, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Tom and I used to live in Baraboo.
Yes, that was on one of our adventures.
Yep. Yes. All right.
Great camping up there. You got what's the park there?
Devil's Lake.
Devil's Lake
Yeah.
State Park.
All right, so I'm going to put this in.
And the Dells.
And the Dells.
That's north of Baraboo. When we played music, we used to say Dells is a French word that meant slow Thursday nights. Remember that?
All right, so what I did was I'm running this through on 2D emboss. I have my tension set to -2, and my warpy plate may or may not have done the job, and it looks like it did. Look how pretty that is. That looks perfect to me. Beautiful. All right, now we've got that beautiful embossing there. Now, one of the other things that you could do if you wanted to change it up a little bit from what I'm doing and from what Marsha did is you could do this part in a different color. So you could do this in, since we're doing autumn colors, you could do this part in one of the complementary colors to whatever we're going to be using for our coloring today. But look at how pretty that's going to look. That is beautiful. Okay, I like it. I'm not totally disappointed, although I do think Marsha's choice was the best. All right, I'm going to just trim a little bit off the sides here. I hope I don't trim too much off. But it's only paper, right? I think we're good. I just wanted to make sure that I had like some wiggle room if I was trying to make it centered better.
Question, how do you get your dies to come out like that without stretching the arch? Stretching the arch.
Well, I don't have my die cut machine set too tight, so that could stretch the arch. If it's too tight and then the paper kind of gets flattened too much as it goes through, you might try like cutting back on your tension a little bit. All right, now let's get to stenciling. So I'm going to use my grip mat because I forgot to grab a new stencil mat, and my stencil mat has seen better days. I really like the grip mat when I'm doing like individual pieces like this too, because it's super sticky. Let's see which one. That's the same as that, so I'll just put that kind of like in that same orientation. There we go.
Do we have a date for the next release?
August 26th.
26.
Okay. So now let me get those stencils. So these coloring stencils are sold separately. If you like to use coloring stencils, you certainly can with this, and I think it makes it very easy to do. I am going to zoom in just a little bit here. All right. And of course, I have my ink stand, and I want to make sure there we go. I had a lot of stuff on the bottom of my inkstand, and Brianne texted me and said, "You need to wash the feet of your inkstand." And she was right, because it wasn't sticking, and now it's sticking like crazy. All right, so we've got like honey mustard. I'm just going to put a few colors out here. Honey mustard. Oh, I know. Plum Punch. That's beautiful together. And fresh asparagus. I zoomed in too much. And jelly bean. Where's jelly bean? Where's jelly bean? Do I not have jelly bean? All right. Maybe it's over here. Oh, I think I was just being like, here it is. I was being messy when I cleaned up. jelly bean, and that might be good. I think that might be really good. Oh gosh, I've got to see what this person is saying here. There we go. It was a hot and muggy day here in South Carolina. The word of the day in honor of Tom is muggly. Muggy and ugly. Muggly. That's great. All right. So I think, should we have one more color in there? What about prickly pear? Let's see what that looks like. Prickly pear in the mix with the greens. Yeah, let's think about that. Let's start with, I know what we'll do. We're going to do these two flowers and this flower in Plum Punch, because Plum Punch is one of my favorite fall colors, and I feel like I only get it out in the fall. I never use this color otherwise, and I'm starting a little early. It's August, but I'm starting a little early. Okay, so we'll start with this one here. We're just going to line that up. There we go. And then let's give that a little plum punch. All right.
When will some of the cardstocks be back in stock? We don't have answers for stock, do we?
No.
Yeah, it's tough for us to know always what's coming in stock, when things are coming.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, some of the colors that have been out of stock for a while, I think we only have a handful of colors that have been out of stock for a little while. And they have to be remilled because our mill in the United States is no longer making a lot of the colors due to the pigments that they get from overseas. They're just getting to be a little too expensive for them. So now we're trying to remill some of our colors overseas, and we are working on that. Okay, that is gorgeous. I love that depth when you go dark at the bottom and light going up. Isn't that pretty? And then we'll do this one the same way, and I'm going to keep that same orientation. So I'm not actually going to start here and go up, but I'm just going to go from the bottom up, because then it'll just kind of look like, and you guys know I don't see light, but it's just going to kind of look like the light is coming from the top of the whole thing. There we go. Gorgeous. Everybody get Plum Punch if you don't have it. That is the color. That is going to be the color of fall for me. And it, you know, if you have like coneflowers or sunflowers, anything like that, stencils, and you do them in this Plum Punch color, oh, they look so pretty, because that's what like kind of the color of those purple coneflowers are. Really nice. All right, now we're going to do some warm tones in here. My next one is going to be honey mustard. I think I'll do honey mustard right in the center there. I'll do honey mustard here. There we go. Yeah, it's been difficult to get stock. There's all kinds of things going on. I'm sure you guys know. You know it's difficult for us right now. All right, I'm using an orange brush here, and I'm just going to brush off some of that sweet mango that's on here, because I might want to go in with, I'm thinking instead of using prickly pear, which I do love prickly pear, but I'm thinking sweet corn might be another good one. All right, and again, I'm going from the bottom and working my way up. Okay. We had a great mill here right in Wisconsin, and they just stopped making colored cardstock. It was like, what? And they're just doing black and white now. And that changed a lot of things for us. All right, now I'm going to go to stencil 2, and I'm going to do these. I'm kind of thinking I want to stick with the honey mustard because I think the 2 tones are going to look really good. All right, Tom, somebody wants to know what spotted cow is.
Oh, they've been, a lot of the viewers have been helping out with that. That, of course, is a local beer, much loved beer brand here in Wisconsin from New Glarus.
Yes.
Yes.
And they're a little militant about like who can carry it, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, I think you can only get it here in Wisconsin.
Yes.
Like if you get it somewhere else, it's like bootleg. it's like moonshine. Somebody took it over the border into Minneapolis or something. Mindy, you could make that your second career.
Good stuff.
Smuggle spotted cow into the Twin Cities. Okay.
Do you remember one day our employees were talking, and I just hate it when that happens, and they assigned each other color names from the color inventory? Like, they assigned me Moonlit Fog.
I do remember that.
They called me Moonlit Fog because I would like show up and out of the
in the
shadows,
distance, in the dark space,
out of the shadows, just appear. And poor Jan, we hope you're doing well, Jan, and your family. Jan was a prickly pear.
Yeah, she didn't like that. I don't remember what I was. Probably a good thing. I really don't. I don't remember. But that's so funny. So I think I'm going to do jelly bean green for these leaves. And then I'm going to do fresh asparagus for the small leaves. They're not small, but the single leaves. These are actually smaller. But there's a trio. Prickly pear.
The things they do to get through the day here, Gina K.
Yeah, it's funny. And if anybody out there is looking for holiday work, just seasonal, we're actually hiring right now. Seasonal workers to pick and pack orders. We're trying to be proactive and get people trained now for the holidays, because you guys know what's going to happen at Black Friday and with our Christmas release, and we want to stay as timely as possible. So if you know anybody in the area that's looking for a nice little part-time job, or a seasonal job rather, look at our Facebook page, not our group, but our page, and we've got the contact information there of who you're supposed to email. It's Sammy. And so you can reach out to Sammy. And we'll set up an interview. It's just seasonal, so it would be from like now through the end of December. But, you know, some people are retired but would like to have a little bit of fun money for the holidays, or some people just want to get out and do something fun, roll around in crafting supplies all day. So if you know anybody, send them our way. I know I've seen people say, yeah, it's a heck of a commute from California, but I'd love to do it. That's not going to work for us. It is in-house employment. You have to be close by. But we are beefing up all of our shipping stations to make sure that we can stay on task. Okay, so there's the jelly bean. Now I'm going to go with the darker green. I think Brianne and Mindy live close enough to commute. Mindy's like 6 hours or 5 hours. That's not so bad. Not in Wisconsin. That's not bad at all in Wisconsin. People are like, why would I fly? It's only a 6-hour drive. That's Wisconsin people. And Brienne's not that far from me either. Right, Brienne? You're not super far. I don't know if it's like meeting for coffee, but certainly an overnight. All right, so I'm using fresh asparagus here for these. I'm going to go a little darker. I'm using the same brush, but I definitely want this to feel darker.
Heather wants to know, what background stamp is that? That's the grip mat.
Yes, this is our double background grip mat. So it's got 2 background stamps on it, and it's got on one side and a photopolymer grip mat on the other side. Now this one is called double background. It's called double background grip mat 2. We also have number 1 that has 2 different background stamps. But you know, what we think is that if you're going to pay for a slab of photopolymer, you might as well get some stamps with it, because that's all a grip mat is a big slab of photopolymer, and that's all a background stamp is, with a design on it. So why not do double duty, right? I'm using the wrong one. I just have to check. Yes, no wonder I couldn't get it to fit. I was using the wrong one. Happens now and then. All right.
Which kit is that stamp, or was that stamp in? Do you know?
I think it was called Thoughtful and Thankful, or Thankful and Thoughtful, because it had the ornate birds in it too, if you remember that stamp set. If that helps. Somebody will remember, though. All right, I think I have everything. Oh, no. That was sticking out. Almost everything colored. But isn't this fun? I love this particular stamp set. I was using it like on every card for a while, and I thought people were going to just start unsubscribing because it was getting so boring using the same stamp set. But one thing that I will tell you, if you're new to Gina K Designs, I promise you, there is not, like, if I release a kit, I make a lot of cards out of those stamps, and I keep bringing them back. I keep using them over and over again. Oh, Sandy Lax has it. Yep, Thoughtful and Thankful. Thank you, Sandy. That was thoughtful, and I'm thankful. See what I did there? Okay, so now we've got all our bits and pieces ready here. Big sleeves in the way. We've got everything that we need to construct this card. I feel a really pretty card coming on. Now, can I look at Marsha's card one more time, Tom? Can you bring that up for me again? I want to see her card one more time. Okay. So Marsha did the little 1/8 of an inch background. I'm going to do that too. I forgot to cut that out earlier. And she did that with Master Layouts 8. And then, I don't think I've organized my master layouts since I've made a few cards here, so I might have to dig for just a second. Oh my gosh, I was reading some comments, and people were talking about YouTube people and what they don't like about YouTubers. And I just went down the negative rabbit hole. I know I shouldn't have done that, but the first thing, what's the first thing you think if somebody says, oh my gosh, what do you dislike about XYZ thing, and it's your profession? The first thing you think is, well, I got to read this because I got to make sure I'm not doing those things. Oh my gosh, I did every one of the things that they didn't like. The first thing they didn't like is when somebody wasn't prepared. And, I mean, I don't ever have a plan, so I'm pretty much never prepared. And then they didn't like when people couldn't find stuff, like in their craft room. And I was like, well, strike 2. I can never find anything in my craft room. I shouldn't even look at those kinds of threads. I know I shouldn't, but I'm so grateful for all of you hanging in here with me when I can't find things, and, you know, y'all are awesome. You're really awesome. It's just one of those things. I mean, I hope that you guys are like me. No, some of you are very, very organized, though. I know you are because you share your organizing in our Facebook group, and I love to see it, and I really aspire to be that. But I just have a tendency a lot when I get done a live to just take all the things and put them in a pile, and then I forget to organize it before the next live. So I'm digging through the piles. It is what it is, right? Okay. Now, luckily, we have both of these colors in cardstock. We've got Plum Punch and we've got Honey Mustard. So we're going to have to look at it after it's all put together, and then we're going to have to see which one we like the best. So for these two frames, I'm just going to put them together using some tape. I know I shouldn't look, right? I shouldn't look. I'm really trying to just clear out all the negativity that's out there. I don't want to like read it, see it. I'm trying. Basically, I'm putting my head in the sand for a little while, and that's okay. You know, sometimes we need to do that for our mental health. We just need to focus on positive things. But what I've noticed is whatever I interact with on the internet, I get more of. So I've kind of stopped interacting with like political posts and, you know, just negative, and I'm finding that I'm interacting more with puppy posts and gardening posts and card making posts, and the algorithm is rewarding me because it's showing me more of all of those wonderful things. All right, so this is going to go on top of here. I love this card already. I'm so excited about it. But first, let's go ahead and glue these three together. And I appreciate you guys because you're all so patient and you put up with a lot with me because I don't plan much. Like, I just broke my glue bottle. And that's a problem, but I'll see if I can fix it. See? Okay, I fixed it. I pulled the pin out completely. So I'm going to glue all of these together. Now, the thing about this die is you don't need to like do glue on every single one of these lines. What I do with this is I just do glue around the perimeter like that. I'll do that at the end. That's where my finger is right now. And then I do just the thick lines.
One of our viewers, Nels, is wondering, do you need a background panel with clouds?
Oh, that's yes, I do. Yes, I do. Good catch. All right, I'm going to do that. That's a good catch. And then I'm just going to do like the little points in between the windows. I am going to do a background panel with clouds. That's right. She has a background panel with clouds. I should do that too. Plus, I need a background panel. I'm just going to have black in the background, which would look kind of cool. Would look sharp, but I like the cloud idea, definitely. Thank you guys. You're all so sweet. See, I'm in my happy place, and I'm with you guys, and that's all I really need. It's hard enough out there, right? People can be tough. And I know it's just because we have to give grace, too, because I know that people are stressed. And so people handle stress different ways. Some people kind of like hide a little bit, and other people just get a little angry and say whatever comes into their mind. Some people, it really does feel good for them to post about things. And for other people, they just want to, they just want to kind of hide a little bit from it. And I'm becoming that person. I just want to hide a little bit for a while. All right, now we've got that put together.
Do we know what embossing folder?
Which embossing folder?
Marsha used.
Marsha used the holiday. What she used? She used the tapestry embossing folder. I'll show it to you. I have it here because I was really tempted. It's this one here. It's really beautiful. We also have this in a background stamp, and we have it in a stamp. Not a background stamp, but a stamp. It kind of goes across, and then we turned it into an embossing folder. So we have that, and then the Petite Flourish is the one that I used, and we also have this in a background stamp, and we have this in polyglaze. So it's kind of fun to be able to like pick and choose how you want to do your background. So I do need some clouds in the background here, and I'm going to do that. So I'll need that other little quarter sheet of cardstock that I'm going to just trim a bit.
And the window is from Master Layouts?
20.
20.
All right, so remember the other day when I couldn't find my cloud stencil? Well, I found it, and I've lost it again. Here it is. I'm going to use this beautiful backdrop stencil. Now, if you don't have this one, you may have our Sea, Sun, and Sky one. Either one of those will work. I am going to use my sticky mat for this because I really just want to stick my cardstock down. Now, for this cloud background, I'm going to use just a turquoise color. I'll pick sea glass, and my inkstand. Right, we're just going to say nice things. Okay, so I'm going to start here at the top. Now, the trick with these clouds is always starting on the stencil and just let the bristles trickle over the edge. You really don't need to do much up in here because you want it to remain as white as possible.
Okay, Jamie has a logic question.
Okay.
If you're looking out the window at the clouds, aren't the flowers on the wrong side of the frame?
Yes, unless you've picked the flowers and you've brought them inside, or they're fake flowers and you've decorated your window with fake flowers, or you're just being silly and whimsical.
Any of that work for you, Jamie?
She's right. Logically, the flowers would definitely be outside the window. Here's one, Jamie. What if the clouds are a reflection? So you're actually looking outside and the clouds are reflecting on the window. What do you think of that? Because that happens. No?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
I can
Come on, Tom, I need you.
Yeah.
All right. Any and all of the above. But really, if you're not digging the cloud idea, it also would be really cool just to have a, maybe a harvest flourish kind of background in there, or just some soft stenciling of some kind, maybe stamped, a background stamp. You could even use, if you want a little sparkle, you can use like the Flurries polyglaze behind there and have a little sparkle going, or, a foiled, any kind of foiled panel. So there's a lot that you can do if you don't want to do the clouds. But since I'm inspired by Marsha, and Marsha had clouds, and I think I've changed the card up enough that our cards are going to be similar, you're going to definitely see the inspiration. I can do the clouds. And I like the clouds. I was thinking about the clouds earlier, which is why this stencil, I'm not still looking for it. Because I looked for it earlier because I knew I wanted to do it. All right. So you see I'm just letting the bristles trickle over the edge, and that keeps my clouds white. Now for the bottom, I know you're not going to see this, but if I shift things around and you do, I do like to add a little bit of turquoise at the bottom and a little bit at the top, just in case. Now in this case, it's not going to show, but if you were just using this as a background, that's the way to kind of finish it off. Just add that little bit of whatever color you're using. I used sea glass, which is just a very, very light turquoise or aqua color. All right, so that was a good catch. And that's why I like doing this with you guys. Okay. So now what we've got here is we're going to put this panel over this panel. I'm going to trim it down on the top a little. Just a little bit. And we've got this panel going over this panel. So we can just layer those together right now. That logic question was good, though. I've done that so many times, though. I've done windows that were just not logically correct. But I still, sometimes I just think it's fun. All right. And then we'll just put that together. That doesn't really matter where it goes. And then this is going to sink down in there a little bit. But because I did 3 layers, it stands out a little bit from the background, which I think is cool. So, and remember, you know, you can step this up. I'm doing white on white because that's what Marsha did. And I want to be Marsha. But if you decide that you want to do something different, you could always add wood graining to your panel before you cut your windows out and give this whole thing like a gray wood grain or a brown wood grain, which would be beautiful for an autumn card. Okay. I think it's time for a new fine tip bottle. I've been nursing these since they came out. So every once in a while you just want something new, right? Okay. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to go just around the perimeter, like that. And then I'm going to do the large panes, or the large wood parts. And then I'm just going to do dots where they intersect. And then once I have that, I'm just going to touch one of the areas that doesn't have glue, and I'm going to just go along the edge. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to put that in there. I feel like I still have to look at it this way, or it won't go in straight, even though it's like getting dropped in there a little bit. Oh yeah, that looks so nice. Love that. So I like to put a weight on it of some sort, and I just use our big acrylic block to do that. And now, while that's happening, I'm going to give it a second. So Tom, I see people asking for a word of the day. Are you ready for your word of the day?
Okay. We've got a clean and simple, quick and out word of the day. No big story leading up or anything like that. That's probably a relief. So what would you call an impish fellow who lives in the city and has an impeccable sense of timing?
Oh my gosh.
Come on.
Impish. An impish fellow. With an impeccable sense of timing, and he lives in the city? We don't know.
A metronome. Metronome.
Wow. There's a lot of action going on in that word right there, right? Metro for city, gnome for a small impish fellow, and has good timing.
A metronome.
Impeccable timing.
Back to the dead space.
Oh my goodness. All right, now it is time for us to put our frame on this card. Isn't this coming out so nice? I know it's taking me a long time. Marsha probably made her card in like 20 minutes. But do you ever find it, I just have to ask, do you ever find it harder to copy someone else's card than to actually come up with your own idea? Because, you know, you keep looking back and you're like, okay, what did they do there? And what did they do here? Sometimes it can actually slow me down a little bit, but that's all right. Okay, I want to make sure that's even. Does that look centered to you? I think it does. I think that looks pretty centered. I'm going to just shift it up just a little bit. Okay, I think that's good. There we go. Now, I'm going to put the flowers here like that. Oh, so pretty. And then I'm going to see if I like the way it looks to extend them on this side. So let's see what this looks like. Lost one. Here it is. I definitely want to end with the yellow, which would be there. I want the yellow to go the other way. We'll see. We'll see. Let's give it a chance first before we hate it. Now we're going to look at it here like this, and that just kind of extends it a little bit, right? I think that's very pretty. I do. I think that's really pretty. But I also want to try it up here like this. Just to see, you know, a little bit of a floral element on the other side, and then have that greeting in that empty space on the side. Give me a chance. Don't unsubscribe yet. All right. So then we put the thinking of you here like this. Well, that's not straight, but you get the idea. And keeping you in my prayers. So what do you guys think? Did you like it down near the bottom, or do you like this kind of a little bit up here and a little bit down here? Okay, let's see. All right, people like it in either place. A couple people liked it lower the first way. All right. Now people like it this way. I like it at the top. Looks better down below, at the bottom, both, top. Ah! Isn't it funny how we just, you know, we all have our thing. All right. Can you get an idea, Tom, of is there more tops or bottoms?
I don't know.
You don't even know. Okay. We'll try it one more time at the bottom, just because I didn't do it with the greeting.
And get working on that poll.
Make a difference. Yeah, we got to get... Well, we can do it from YouTube. If you just open your YouTube, you'd be able to make a poll. I mean, Facebook, we can't do a poll, but we could do it for the YouTube viewers would be able to say what they think. All right, so there it is down at the bottom. And then putting the thinking of you here and keeping you in my prayers. All right. We just had to see it, right?
Top. A lot of people are saying more on top.
More on top. Maybe because they didn't see it with the greeting, you know. Oh yeah, there's a lot of top coming in. Can't go wrong either way. All right, well, I'm going with that. So I think we'll do the top just because, here's why I'm going to do the top. Just because that really makes it different than Marsha's. If I just did it this way, it would be very similar to Marsha's, and that would be gorgeous, classy, simple, and beautiful. But I also want to take it a little bit outside of what she did to make sure that mine is a little bit different. So I think I will put those flowers at the top. I agree with everybody. I like it both ways, so it's really hard for me to decide which one. I think I can just put tape all over this and not even use foam squares, because everywhere that it's raised, the tape will just attach. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put tape all over this. And I'm not even going to use the foam squares. That's the beauty of this window, too. You don't really have to. Wait, let me get my Mindy Egan on and use this so I can position it. All right, so we're going to go like this. And I'm going a little outside the frame, I know. I like that. It's okay, because we're going to have a, remember, we're going to have a card base still. We don't have that yet. And also, why don't I just put this right on the black now?
Laura wants to know, does Sandy Beach go well with warm cocoa and dark chocolate?
Yes. Beautiful together. They're all in that same vein. So I'm going to put the black panel on.
And do you know if you will have matching cardstock for the orchid, lilac, and spruce inks?
No, we will not. None of our trios. We won't be having ink for our trios. Just for our single colors. I'm sorry, paper. We won't have cardstock for our trios.
Connie wants to know, could this card be made with Master Layouts 5 and 18?
Yes, definitely. 5 and 18 would give you an A2 version of this card. That would be very pretty.
And what size is this card?
This is going to be 5 by 7. So I'm going to do that here. I just have to lay this out first before I commit. I think, you know what I think? I think it would be prettier to have some of this greenery coming inward a little bit in here like this.
That looks amazing.
That would be really pretty. All right, so let's do that. I'm going to put these down first. Make sure I got it stuck there. And then I'll put a little bit on this one, and then we're just going to slip those leaves under there. I like having the greenery coming inward just a little bit. Okay. I hope the people that wanted it on the bottom didn't leave. I'm the worst because I'm like a little bit of an empath. And that's not a good thing, by the way, being an empath. Don't let anybody tell you, like, I'm an empath because I'm so sensitive. That's a trauma response. That's all that is. That's not a good thing. That's just being worried all the time that people will get mad at you. All right, and then the thinking of you will go here. I really love this card. Marsha, you nailed it. Can we give a round of applause to Marsha for this idea? Tom, do you have a round of applause? Let's give Marsha a big round of applause. Because honestly, this card, when I saw it, I just knew it was... I had to make it. I hope you guys will make one too. I think it will be really fun for you to make it.
And a round of applause for the word of the day.
Yes. It's nice when you have the button. All right. I'm going to just move that down just a hair. Like that. There we go. And standing ovation from Marsha. I love that. I love how supportive our community is of other crafters too. It's just one of those things where when you see somebody make a beautiful card, it's like, you go, girl. Can I borrow that idea? All right, so now there we go. We have my version of the card, and I have to put the card base on. But you can see I've got my embossing here. It's a little bit more subtle than Marsha's version. And then I added flowers up here. So mine's a little busier. You see a little less of the window, a little less of the embossing. Now, let's take a look at the cardstock. Okay, so here is the Plum Punch cardstock. And I think I already know what you guys are going to say. The Plum Punch is gorgeous. Here is the Honey Mustard cardstock. Now, isn't it interesting? When you put the honey mustard in, all of a sudden these yellow flowers really stand out, right? I mean, they just pop because it's like That's what's being featured. But then when you put it on the Plum Punch, like all I see is the purple. So.
Can you just try white?
Can I try white?
Yes.
Sure. I can certainly try white. All right, so here is a piece of white.
All right, thank you.
What do you think of that, Tom? My card base on crooked. Uh-oh. It's going to have to stay that way. Maybe. Maybe. It's nothing for me to just rip a card apart.
I was just going to say, nobody can rip a card limb from limb.
Like me? All right, so it's overwhelmingly plum out there.
I think so, yes.
Overwhelmingly plum. So, and I agree, because Plum Punch, once again, does not get enough love. So we're going to go with plum. And then, to do a 5x7 card base, you want to go 10. Put my glasses on so I can see the 10. 10 by 7. Okay. 10 by 7. And then we're going to score that 10-inch side at 5 inches. Now, I did show in one of my more recent videos that you can do a top folding card. You have to do it like in 2 panels, and then you have to kind of fold it over. And to me, it's not worth it. I'll just do the book style card rather than the, you know, top fold card. Just because it's, I don't know, I find it to be a little bit like tedious. Trying to use the right word. Tedious. And a book style card, I think I told you guys, when I first gave my mom a tent fold card, she didn't know how to open it. She thought it was stupid. She liked the traditional cards are supposed to open this way. By the way, I have to admit something to you guys. I needed a sympathy card, and because I had found out about something while I was on the road and I wasn't going back to work or home. So I had to stop at a Walgreens and buy a sympathy card. And I bought a sympathy card that was tiny, 1 layer. It was nice, but it was $8 for a card. Because I remember like way back, like trying to use the excuse with Tom that how much money I was saving making my own cards. I think we're finally getting there, people, because it's crazy out there how much cards are. So this card would be very expensive at the Hallmark store. Now, I could add a few little embellishments to it, but I don't think I'm going to. Let's see Marsha's card one more time. Did she add embellishments? I want to see her card one more time. Oh, she did. Oh, maybe I should. All right, let's go back to mine. That card's gorgeous, Marsha. Let's go back to mine because I do have some black on here, and we could just pop a few little black embellishments in there just to see how they look. Like one in there. That would work. I just keep posting your cards, guys, because I really like doing these inspired by videos. And I think it's kind of fun because you guys can get like ideas after seeing something and saying, oh, you know, I like that master layout set, but I don't know if there's enough card ideas for it. And then, you know, I can make more card ideas for it. So we can all just share our ideas. Everybody will be sharing them. I think it would be really fun. So I think I'm just going to do the 3 little black embellishments in there. And I agree that I probably don't need the embellishments, but I love a little pop of black in places. So I'm going to do it. Just a little pop of black to go with the black outline and the black lines of the stamp, and also the little black perimeter. Oh, I put a lot of glue there. Okay, So there is my finished card, inspired by Marsha Thompson. We'll take a look at Marsha's card one more time. Beautiful card, Marsha. Kudos. I absolutely love what you did. And then here is my interpretation of Marsha's card. And I'll take a good high quality photo and I'll post it in the Facebook group and also on the post tab here on YouTube for my friends who aren't on Facebook, so you can all see all that detail up close, because you do lose a little detail in the video, but you'll see it up close. And oh, thank you for inspiring us, Marsha Thompson. All right, well, that was so much fun. I had a great time, and I hope that you guys like this video tonight and this whole idea. If you did like the video, we would love it if you would give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also hit all notifications so you never miss another video. And if you're not in our Facebook group, you should come over. It's a lot of fun. We've got 49,000 members that all share their love of Gina K Designs products. It's called Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends, and we'd love to have you there. A big shout out to Brianne Loveland. Brianne, we love you. Thank you so much for helping everybody tonight, being able to find everything. She is just amazing with the links, and I know that that's really helpful for everybody. But if you missed any of the links that you were looking for, you could find all the products that I used in tonight's video over on our website at ginakdesigns.com. All right, well, we are going to pick a winner of a $15 gift card tonight. And the way we choose a winner is we just choose from all of the comments that come in on both YouTube and Facebook. So if you've made a comment tonight, you're automatically enrolled in the giveaway, right?
That's right.
All right, Tom, so go ahead.
Drummer, please. Here we go. Tonight's winner is Yo Sparrowgrove. Yo Sparrowgrove.
Congratulations. All right, yo. All you have to do is send your name and email address to info@ginakdesigns.com and let them know that you won tonight's $15 gift card, and they will get that emailed to you right away. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Tom and I will be back on Thursday with another Stampin' Chat Live, and we are going to move into Master Layouts 18. We will only be 2 away after that from completing our Master Layouts series, and it's time for me to get working on some new Master Layouts die sets, I think. Master Layouts 18 is coming on Thursday. That's at 12 noon, 1 p.m. Central. 12 noon Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And then next Tuesday night is our brand new release. We're going to have brand new stamp sets. It's our autumn release. And we've got some amazing products coming for you. A brand new card kit, another 3D embossing bundle that you're going to love, and a whole bunch of beautiful stamps and dies from our fantastic illustrators. You're going to love it. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Until Thursday, stay safe and healthy. We love you all so very much. And we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.